This is the Guy to Georgia Outdoors, and this is the last day of deer season here in Georgia. I can't complain, it's been one heck of a season. If you haven't already hit that subscribe button, do so, or you can go back and check. We killed a lot of deer this year. I killed me a nice 10-point with the bow. I was able to get my heaviest 8-point that weighed 207 pounds. I had several kids come with the Outdoor Dream Foundation and kill deer, so really there's no complaints. But this afternoon we're gonna go back for one more attempt. To make it a little bit more challenging, we're gonna bring out the old 44 Magnum, the old smoke pole, the old hand cannon 44 mag Ruger. We're gonna see if we can get one. We're actually gonna be sitting one of my bow stands. But I went back there today and there's a lot of fresh hog sign. And around here, hog sign is pretty rare. We had a couple several years ago we actually seen some hogs, but today I went back there, first time I seen hog sign all year. So we're bringing the 243 with the X sight on there, so it's night vision, and I can also shoot a deer if it's out of range during daytime hour because it's a daytime nighttime scope. So we're kind of ready for anything this afternoon. We didn't quite hit our 2022 goal of 10,000 subs, but we're a couple hundred away, and you can help us out by hitting that sub button, turn on notifications, and I encourage you to go back and check out some of our videos. We have probably 150 videos on the channel, fishing, hunting, anything in South Georgia, you name it, it's there. But we're gonna go target practice a time or two with the old 44 mag to make sure we can hit at about 25 yards, and then we're gonna get in the deer stand this afternoon. Hopefully we'll get a doe down, maybe a hog down, maybe a little bit of both. I consider myself to be a pretty good outdoorsman, but one of my weak areas is pistol shooting handguns. I'm not really good at them. I do practice, but we're gonna practice. I set up a box right there at about 25 yards, which is the distance that my feeder's at. Any further than that, I'll probably go with a 243. We're gonna shoot some Hornady 44 mag, 240 grain. This 44 mag does pack a good punch, and I'm a pretty good sized guy, and it does pack a good punch, so you gotta make sure you're holding tight. So my earmuffs broke, so I'm having to makeshift and putting a glove inside of that thing to keep my ears from getting blasted out, because this is a loud gun. It is a pretty good sized chunk of lead. I think I pulled a little bit before I even go down there and look. The shot may be a little off and the replay may show, but I think I flinched just a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and fire a second round down there and see what we can do. Felt pretty good. It does got some kick to it, but good crisp trigger pull. You gotta love those Rugers. And I can tell pretty good shots. So let's look at them. This was my first shot where I said I pulled it just a little bit. Second shot right there in the vacuum. I was aiming right there, so I think that will work. Feel pretty solid, pretty confident at 25 yards. And like I said, if the deer's beyond that, I'll probably just use a 243 just to be safe. I know those guns are accurate with a little bit further, and people are accurate with them. It's just not me, so I want to make sure I use my safe range. So we're going to put the camera down. We're going to get in the hunting truck, and we'll pick back up when we get to the deer stand. As you can see, I got a little bit of a pig problem. This is all fresh stuff, and the sign goes back all the way to where I walked in, and the feeder just went off, and they've been eating under the feeder, rooting up. So we're gonna ease up our deer stand over there and get set up. We just got set up in the deer stand, and the hog sign is really fresh. The feeder just went off. I got about 25 yards to that feeder right there, about 30 yards to the opposite side of this food plot. And if they're any further than that, we got the rifle as well. You know, this is kind of a fitting spot to end the season. Opening day of bow season was right here, me and my buddy Ryan from Guatemala. And here we are on the last day of the last evening of the season, back here at the same spot. I'm pretty optimistic because the deer signs here like crazy, and there's hog signs. So like I said earlier, if we're here during daylight hours, we're gonna shoot one with the pistol. If he's out of range, we're gonna shoot him with the rifle. And we're even gonna stay a little bit after dark because my scope shoots daytime, nighttime, and we'll see if some of them hogs come in. But looking forward to a good afternoon and a way to wrap up the deer season. All right, we just got down and we ended up getting a nice little doe, you know. I'm gonna end up cutting some of that footage I shot her, and I think I hit her a little far back and she kicked around for a little bit, and there's no sense in putting that on YouTube. So but she's down. She's right there where I shot her. She's a little bit on the smaller side, but I was very aware of that when I made that decision, because most of the bigger does at this point are going to be bred and pregnant, and I figured she, you know, may not be pregnant, and she's also not a proven mother where some of the bigger ones are. So, you know, there's no perfect time to kill a doe. And some people complain when you kill them early in the year, oh, that one's still nursing. So people kill them during the rut, oh, you're going to mess up the hunting the big bucks. And when you kill them in the end of the year, oh, they're pregnant. So there's no perfect time, but she's going to be a good little one to add to the freezer. My wife killed 3 does this past week, so we did pretty good getting some meat for the freezer. We're going to get the truck and go load this one up. Well, the fat lady has sung. Deer season is over. I just got this doe, and I'm not even going to argue and tell you it's the biggest doe I've ever killed, but it may be the best eaten doe. This young tender deer is going to be really good. We need meat in the freezer, and that's what we did. It's not just about going out there and killing. It's about putting meat in the freezer. I got a family of 4, so I got to provide for them. Plus, we have a lot of family on the farm, so we all eat together quite often. And a deer this size is going to produce some good meat and good quality meat. So we're going to cleaned out. And, you know, this is one heck of a deer season. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go back and check it out. We killed a nice 10-point, killed a nice 8-point. We killed several nice bucks off the farm. It ain't all about just shooting small does. But at the end of the day, I like to kill deer. I like to put meat in the freezer. So we're going to get this deer cleaned out. We just got the deer quartered, and we're about to go put it in the walk-in cooler. But I saved me out a little section, about a 6-inch section of, had a hard time saying that, 6-inch section of backstrap. We're going to go upstairs and do something special with it. But before I do, let me go ahead and recommend this Outdoor Edge with the 5-inch boning knife. This really changes your life. It's good for cleaning. It's good for processing. It's got a good blade on it, and you just replace them whenever they get dull, and you can sharpen them too. So, but we're going to get that in the cooler, and we're going to go upstairs and do something special with this backstrap. All right, you are about to witness one of my favorite deer recipes. We're going to make a cube steak, deer steak, whatever you want to call it, sandwich. We're going to trim this little piece of backstrap up a little bit, get it in the cuber, and we're going to get one of my favorite sandwiches. My wife doesn't think sandwiches are luxury items. I do. One of my favorite things to eat is this right here. So we're going to trim it up, we're going to cube it up, and get it ready to eat. Simple as that. Razor sharp, so you got to be careful with it. We're going to trim some of this little bit of silver skin off. You ain't got to worry too much on this stuff. It's not too bad. We're going to trim some of that off, and this razor sharp knife is very helpful at doing that. And you definitely want to get all of that off of there. That's where this knife really comes into play, good and sharp. You just fillet it right off. There you go. And you don't leave any meat on that. And you go a little bit right there. Okay, we're going to make enough for 2 sandwiches, so we're going to cut this in half. And we're going to trim up just a little bit more of that stuff right there. If you were grinding this as burger or something, you wouldn't have no problem, but we're going to trim it up good. Go through, and you'll notice all the grains are that direction, so we're going to go through opposite. We're going to go through a few times until we get about the thin thickness we want. One more time. And that is perfect. We got our back strap right here. We're gonna hit it with some of this Buc-ee's brisket rub. It's really good. It's got salt, pepper, some cayenne pepper. That's the 3 major ingredients, but some other stuff really good. So we're gonna hit it with that. Put it in some flour, put it in the oil, and there you go. Very simple. If you fried before, don't rethink the wheel. Just do it that way. All right, using our thermometer, we got our oil at about 350. We're gonna set these in. Might just do one at a time. All right, this is one of my favorite sandwiches. I use some really good quality bread, mayonnaise, lettuce, tomato. Hit it a little bit more of that Bucky seasoning, fried it up to a good perfection. So here we go.
That's spicy.
My girls are laughing at me. That is no joke. One of the best sandwiches that you can make. That bread paired up with the mayonnaise, with the tomato, it all just pairs up so good. Kimber's laughing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Killing a deer with my pistol has been a goal for a long time. Finally got that done. Last day of the season. Can't complain any this year. Killed a lot of good deer. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. We're going to be duck hunting in the next couple weeks. We're going to be doing some collab projects with other YouTubers. You're not going to want to miss those. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Until the next one, this has been the unofficial, no doubt incomplete guide to Georgia Outdoors.
Good outdoors. Good outdoors.